Alright, so today, or I should say tonight, I started this off-grid, not a test, but just an off-grid, almost like a weekend thing, at about 1 o'clock. It was sunny all day today, so up until about where the sun went down, I was at float voltage. Now I'm at 12.4, 12.5 volts at the batteries. And at the inverter, I'm 12.3, pulling 40 amps. About 400 watts being used up by the house through my SW3000. 100 watts of it is definitely this DeWalt charger. It takes about 100 watts. Actually takes exactly, well, almost exactly 100 watts. Because that's where that's plugged into. And I'm fairly low in voltage. Well, not low, but that's my usual operating voltage on these batteries. And that is because of, where did I put it? Oh yeah, this grinder over here. I went through 3 of these blades around, maybe at dusk. A little bit of sun was still coming in, not a lot, but I was cutting and cutting and cutting. Well, here's part of what I cut. There was uprights here. I cut those off all the way around. So, my voltage, 12.5 volts. Still pulling 37.8 amps. And I find these 2 batteries are helping a little bit through this thin wire, but that's it. Like, it's not doing anything. This wire is like 14 feet long. It's not going to do really anything. So it's running off of, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's running off of 10 of these gray batteries. I have 12, but only 10 are really hooked up. So that's 1350 amp hours plus that, which isn't hooked up. We're gonna run for the rest of the weekend and see what we end up with. I want to see if we can charge up tomorrow, get back up to par. We're not running the air conditioner tonight, so it's not going to really drain my batteries like to 50% or anything like it probably normally would. But yeah, the system, gonna see what the system can do. I've tested this multiple times, but usually I run an air conditioner, or I run the furnace fan all night and the window air conditioner upstairs, so that it circulates the air through the house, keeps the whole house cool, which takes a tremendous amount of power. It's about almost 100 amps, about 70-80 amps all day long, which I can bring that in, but that means if I use that at night, I'm not going to replenish it the next day because I'm using it still during the day, so I'm going backwards no matter what I do. Yeah, so I'll update you guys and see what happens. So, it's the next day, approximately 1 o'clock. Solar's pumping lots of power. This one's, well, practically maxed out. It is warm. This one is getting close to max out, also warm. Might hook up that little fan there. And our voltage would be quite a bit higher if my wife wasn't cooking on the George Foreman inside. So this is what the house is taking. There's lots of drops through the lines because I haven't upgraded this yet. This is 2 4-gauge wires in parallel that is running up here. So there's losses there. That's why I bought this 3/0 cable here, so I could replace it with that, have a little bit less loss. Cloud just came overhead, so this is all getting pulled from the batteries now at 12.1 volts. But when she's done cooking, should easily get back up in voltage and get these batteries charged. see what we get up to now. Oh, cloud again. Anyways, keep you guys posted how the system works. Also just wanted to show you guys what it was like outside. Get little peaks of sun here and there, and then cloud, and sun, and then cloud, so it's not a perfect day for this, but this is a real world test anyways. Now, a few minutes after my wife stopped using the George Foreman, we're up in voltage. I hooked up that little fan temporarily because this one is pushing, well, was pushing over 40 amps, getting warm. I can still touch it, but it is hot. Battery voltage at the inverter, 12.9, so it's probably in between there, somewhere between 12.9 and 13.3, 13.2. So it looks like as long as I don't run like an air conditioner non-stop and stuff like that, I can run off grid indefinitely as long as there's sun as well. And I don't even have LED lighting. I have fluorescent lighting, which takes quite a bit more. I could reduce power usage further by getting LED lighting. But all in all, the system's working great. And I'll update you guys if anything else happens. Yet again, we just seem to have trouble living off limited source of power. Too lazy to do the dishes herself, so my wife was running the dishwasher, but I asked her to turn it off just for a bit because it's a 250 amp main breaker. Not quite enough for my house, definitely not enough for this inverter. And I am about to weld some more weld in here. Still have to weld this side, and yeah, this takes 150 amps by itself, and the washing machine takes 150 amps plus whatever else is running in the house. We'll trip that breaker in no time. So I asked her to shut it off. She shut it off, and pop back up in voltage. We are now pulling 21 amps from the batteries, and I'm about to pull a lot more. And this is day 3 off grid, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and the batteries are getting close to, well, that one says 50%. I guess something big just came on in the house. Fairly big, 77 amps. Not all that big, but I think inverted it's only 11.5. Around 700 watts being pulled, and that's the system.
This is the end of my test. I just stuck my generator on it through this charger.
That's always how I shut it off, because it drains most of the gas out of the carb and whatnot. That was the first time starting this year, so at least I believe at least since like January anyways. Batteries are sitting at 12.2 volts. That was lower than I expected. I didn't expect it to be so cloudy today. So I am going to use the charging feature of this. But I'm going to wait up till a little bit later tonight when we're off peak. And I'm going to charge these using the 15 amp share option, which gives me about 170 amps charging current. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do to bring my battery voltage back up. So they went down to about 50%, and when I got home they're 12 volts. And a little lower than I like to bring them, but 3 days it went pretty good for the most part. I wish I had more sun today, but that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. So after my off-grid test for 3 days, I'm sitting at about 50% after the sun goes down. maybe a little over. Anyways, no charge current coming in anymore. Don't want to leave my batteries in the state for too long, as it damages them. It is now about 9 o'clock at night, and I am going to use the charge feature in this and Trax SW3000. Got a little bit dusty. And I am going to charge the batteries. I can't pull too much current because I am pulling from a 15 amp outlet. So let's plug that in here. There we go. It is now plugged in. Charger is enabled. It is set to the 15 amp setting. So this is what it is taking from the grid. So 15 amps stays well under 15 amps. Puts 93 amps to my batteries. That is like, this is pretty much equal to one of the best charging days I've had. I've had about 55 amps on the one charge controller and about 45 on the other. So this is pretty close to it. This is like a really good day in solar. And I'm going to charge the batteries fairly quickly. This should only take about 7 or 8 hours to be fully charged if I'm down to 50%. If I'm not actually down to 50%, then this should be done in just a few hours. So we'll find out. It's hard to tell always by the voltage, but I was down to about 12.1 volts, 12 volts, 12.1 without the load on anymore. And we're going to see. The fans in this unit just kicked in to cool it because it's got to keep that massive transformer nice and cool. And yeah, the system works quite well, and this is what it's pulling from the grid. 1350 watts approximately. And let's see, how well balanced is my battery bank? Let's see, this is on one side of my battery bank, and this is hooked to the other side of my battery bank. So they're within they're within less than 0.1 of a volt, because this is switching between 12.3 and 12.2. So that's pretty good. And the batteries are just soaking in this power. .7 at the inverter. The actual battery voltage is about 12.2, 12.3-ish. So that's pretty good. And now I'm just going to let it charge. And then all day tomorrow, it's going to be maintained charged by the solar. And I'm going to shut this off either later tonight if it's fully charged, or tomorrow morning. And yep, that's how I finish a test like this. This would be a wonderful backup power system, especially if it was long term. I could always cut back on my usage, but this is not a 24/7 setup for me yet anyways, because I like to use too much power in my house. If I cut down on my power usage, I could easily live off this. It's just we cook off electricity, which really takes the most. We like to run an AC unit. There's a lot of things we like to do, which just kills the batteries. But I think we did pretty good for a summer run. Thanks for watching, guys, and hit the like button, it helps, and subscribe.